we're coming off of the Valentine season. A lot of people
yeah.
actually had experience during the Valentine season. And we're asking what the true cost of love was for you and many other people out there. Was it monetary? Was it financial? Was it mental? Did it take a toll on your sanity?
Was it physical?
Was it physical? If you were to define that cost of love, what would you say it is currently now? And even moving into marriage as well. What is the true cost of love outside and inside of marriage? Deck, you want to go first?
Well, for me, first and foremost, I'm sorry, but I don't believe in the concept of Valentine's. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. It's not because I don't have the money to buy anything I want to buy for my wife. I mean, I bought stuff for her and all of that. But
we know your capabilities.
The concept is sort of, what's the word now? It is very, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's
unreal.
cliche.
Is what I call it.
You know,
Unreal.
like, you have to dress a certain type of way. You have to buy stuff. You have to present it in a
Cheesy.
certain. It's too cheesy for me. Like it feels too doctored for me. You want to show love to your partner. You don't have to wait for a specific day to do that.
Pause. King of cheese and flatulence, because this guy is every single day on the show. That's what every day is so diplomatic and everything. What do you have to say about that?
See, first of all, Valentine's Day is one of the most messed up so-called days in the year. Let me tell you why. I've had bad experiences, and maybe that's why I'm this way. But I think women have transformed that day to be a day that's about them. It's always about what you're going to get for her, what she receives. And men really don't get stuff in return on Valentine's Day.
No, we get boxes and singlets.
But is that stuff? And if you look at if you read about the history of Valentine and how the guy died,
You don't want to be
because
celebrating it.
do you understand? It's like the men.
You don't want to be doing
It's like,
that.
it's
That's
like
one of
men
my
continually
problems.
have to die or suffer or not be rewarded when the concept is about a man losing his life on behalf of some other female. So men are the ones that should be the prize on Valentine's Day. But women have captured in a way that you must show me this, you must gift me. There are women that literally sit down and receive multiple gifts from different
men.
partners.
Yes.
All you poly
The poly
people
guy.
were watching.
The poly guy.
The poly guy.
So I
Poly.
used to work at the bank, yeah, and this one time it was a Friday Valentine Day, and everybody, all the ladies were getting roses and cakes and red envelopes and everything. And there's a timeline to it. At 10 o'clock, that means you're really valued. At 12 o'clock,
You tried.
I know, I've heard this story.
At 2 o'clock,
I've heard
you're
this
an
story.
afterthought. At 4 o'clock, you are the one who ordered that rose and cake.
And somebody did
Like, I
that.
can't miss out of this.
And people actually,
Yeah.
there was one or
They
two
ordered
people
for
who actually
themselves.
ordered for
You
themselves.
know what
just
I've
to
always
value
thought about
themselves.
Valentine's? It's really strange because I've never celebrated Valentine's Day in my entire life.
For real?
Yeah, not once. I remember when I
Congratulations.
was in secondary school and it was a thing, our school.
You were doing that time.
I wasn't. And people would just come up and start talking about gifts they want to get for their, friends, their girlfriends and stuff. And I'll look at them like,
What's the point? I don't get
that's
it.
a white man celebration. Because I never understood it. I never understood why you have to pick out a particular day. So you want to celebrate someone, you want to show your love and all that. Because I feel where people get it wrong in the first place is that love isn't supposed to be earmarked for a single day. It's supposed to be all the time, every single second, every single minute,
What are
every single day.
husbands paying, however, for love?
However,
What are husbands paying for love?
Unfortunately-
I mean, as married people, most
yeah.
people don't really have that. They're not under pressure to buy big gifts and stuff.
Unfortunately, I've been married for 11 years, and the reason why I'm saying unfortunately, in those 11 years, I've never celebrated Valentine's Day with my wife because even when we were courting, she knew it wasn't something I believed. I don't believe in it. I remember my daughter coming back from school and she's talking about Valentine's Day and all that, and I was freaking out like, why are they talking to you about Valentine's Day in school?
It's a construct,
You need
social
to,
construct.
get to a particular age for you to understand what it's about before you can make that choice.
Well,
I can talk about it in school with you.
I spoke to this gentleman recently, just only 2 days ago during the celebration, and he talked about the cost that he was paying for love inside of his marriage, and his description was that of fear. And this is why I asked in the beginning whether it was a mental toll on people, because he needed to do something for his wife that showed how he valued her, but didn't know exactly what value that was or what she would appreciate.
Exactly.
He went on to also explain the fact that in his marriage, he has fallen out of love more into fear. So he would do things that pleased her,
Yeah.
not because he loved her, but because of fear of what she would...
what's gonna happen?
Fear of
the
losing
yeah,
her or not.
losing her,
if he doesn't
or the
meet up.
reaction from her if he doesn't.
That's a
So
material
to
woman
him,
right there.
to him, that was the
it
price
might
for
not
love.
be the woman at that point. It might be a societal thing. There are times whereby people are driven by, oh, Deck just got a brand new car for his wife. You know what?
That's
I've
another
got to
pressure.
do something well because my wife knows Deck's wife. She's going to talk about it. And guess what? A lot of men go through this pressure
That's
of
the price.
wanting to meet up.
That's
like,
the
okay, you
price
know
right
what?
there.
I'm a man. I don't want to look bad in front of my wife. I don't want her to think I don't love her. I don't want her to think there's a side chick somewhere. So I've got to meet up. And guess what? Out of 10 men, 7 to 8 are going through this currently because it's no longer really a relationship. It's more or less like it's a business negotiation. You know what? This is what you need to do to show me how much you love me. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Let me tell you something that happened to me when I just got married. When I just got married, in fact, we finished our wedding party today. We traveled out of the country the next day. Let me tell you how terrible this thing you're talking about is. I realized that it's a terrible thing to actually buy stuff for your spouse and put it up on your status and allow your friends to see it. It's a very terrible thing.
Yeah, don't ever
I stopped
do
it
that.
a long time ago, and people started to message me and tell me that you don't take your wife out again. I said, what is your business?
Exactly. What's your business?
How exactly does it concern you to know if I
Took her out
take
or
my
not.
wife out or not?
God bless you.
Or I buy stuff for my wife. What use is it to you? Now, it is a thing of brothers keeping, of course, brothers watching the backs of brothers.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. You see, when I stopped it, I realized that a friend of mine and his wife became closer.
So they were using you as template.
So they were using my life as a template. Unfortunately, the wife made more money than the husband.
Oh.
So you are using me as a template.
But you can't
I
afford
make
it.
my money the way I make my money, and I'm not stressing myself.
So
and
in
I
that
do
kind of
and in the
relationship-
little things that I do, my wife is very grateful.
Listen, Dick, in that, and this goes to everybody, in that kind of relationship where the dynamics is different and the wife is actually the breadwinner,
Yes.
what is the price the husband is paying for love?
Oftentimes, than not, you realize that the husband will cheat. This person I'm talking to you about is with another person. Yes.
I didn't hear
You
that.
see, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. So sorry.
Yes.
So sorry. Let me tell you why.
That's a bombshell.
Let's
just dropped the bombshell.
This is Chen Gang interrupt us.
I won't agree that the husband is going to do that for that reason alone.
Let me tell you why.
There's a way he's being treated by
Okay.
the wife that is making more.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
pushes him to
That's
do
why
that.
I said that. Let me tell you why. The reason is this, all right? So, a lot of the time, it takes a woman after the heart of God to actually be humble, regardless of how much she makes.
Yeah.
That's where my wife comes in.
See,
I'll
let
give
me
you
tell you
just-
something.
Cheesy.
If your wife makes money and she is humble and she respects you, my brother, put her on your head like this and respect her. And I'll tell you why. The reason is because, you see, I'm sorry, I don't know the statistic, but from what I know, the statistics says that almost 70 to 75% of women who are in power positions don't know how to manage that power.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I remember.
Almost. I'm not saying, look, it could be, I mean, I could be wrong.
So the thing
all
is,
right?
the thing
I
is,
could be wrong.
I
but
totally understand where you're coming
do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel
it is not easy.
I feel that in the world today,
Yes.
and I mean, for most of the time I've been in this world, it's been a man's world. You know, control, power, resources,
that cultural
everything
dynamic.
culturally, even societal based. It's
Yes.
men handling certain things. So a lot of times when a woman comes into that
position.
power, that position, they don't know how to handle it because there's no one to look up to. There's no one to look up to. And in marriages, it's always a big problem. I mean, Okwoluwafemi a couple of times has said, hey, if my wife is earning more than me, that's it, it's over.
No.
Because most women, unfortunately, do not know how to deal with situations like that
Those
in
dynamics.
marriages.
It's
There
not
are women
easy.
out there who are
It
watching
is
the
not
show and perhaps
dynamics,
are
yeah.
already in that
See,
dynamic.
no.
And- wait, hang on.
Yeah.
The women are actually looking at you right now and saying, what is this one talking?
No, I mean, they can, if they want to be honest, they can look at their own relationships and look at
be
it,
true to
See, let me be honest with you.
about it. Like, okay, am I treating my partner
Let me
very
be
well?
honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I may be wrong. There are women, I'm not saying there are no women
You're not
who
wrong.
actually have money and are in power
not
positions
wrong.
who literally can be respectful and humble to their husband. That's not what I'm saying. Even if they have money and all of that.
They don't
but
necessarily
the
have to
amount of
disrespect their
people,
partners.
of women,
Yeah.
who I can tell you are in power positions who have money, they want to be worshipped too. They want to be worshipped.
I'm sorry, I've worked with a couple of female bosses. I've worked with a couple of female bosses. I can count maybe out of the top of my fingers, maybe 2 that were like just really chilled. The rest wanted you to build a shrine around them.
That's correct.
They wanted you to kiss their feet every morning.
That's correct.
They wanted things that, most men, which is not a big deal because I feel your boss is your boss. It doesn't matter which gender. But the fact that it's insistent, they're like, what are you doing?
Naturally,
Mate,
I'm sorry,
you have
just
to do this.
the last one.
Yeah, 'cause I have to read the
naturally, I
messages.
can tell you for a fact. One of the reasons why I told you that most of the time they would look outside is because at the end of the day, that man is not looking for money anymore because he has money at home. He has seen what money is like.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
he's looking for is somebody who can just respect him a little bit.
A bit of
So if he
happiness, yeah.
gets a little bit of respect outside, he is going outside.
So are you saying that the cost
That's
of
it.
love is respect for men?
For men, yeah.
most men.
But
Most
Dex-
men.
not
most
most
men
men,
want
most men.
respect.
Dex says
No,
that,
not most
but
men.
at the same time, he was talking about the lady that was saying men are looking for women to do a certain type of laziness and just be laid back.
No, he didn't.
No, that's not what we're
He
talking
didn't
about.
espouse that.
No,
He
I
rubber
don't.
stuff that lady was saying. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm with you.